Finn was a total normal pregnancy, that we knew of. There were no signs that anything was wrong.
At about 14 weeks though, she started getting a very uneasy feeling whenever she thought about the delivery. But if she thought about having a C-section, then it put her at ease.
We talked to 5 OBs, 2 of them just treated us like we were nuts. One actually used the words that I was crazy to ask for a C-section.
Finn was born and everything looked great right off the bat, but he had a little bruise on his lip and another little bruise. And the pediatrician that was in, he picked up on the bruises and ran a CBC, which is the simplest blood test you can run, and found that Finn's platelet count was 5,000, where normal is between 150 and 400,000, which meant that it put him at a great risk for bleeding anywhere and everywhere in his body. Pediatrician kind of walked into the room quickly, kind of stormed into the room, and he said, "I need to talk to you about your son." And my wife sat up, and just the tone of his voice, we knew that something wasn't as perfect as we thought. He had diagnosed Finn with Neonatal Alloimmune Thrombocytopenia, which is what they call NAIT, N-A-I-T. And he explained the situation to us and told us that if it was his child, that he would have him flown to a children's hospital, which would be Kosair Children's Hospital in Louisville, where I was from. I mean, at the time we were in southwestern Kentucky living. And I was permitted to fly with them that day. And it was the scariest day of my life still to this point. It was just unbelievable, the fear that you have when it's your little baby sitting there and don't know what's gonna happen, if he's gonna make it to the next day. My wife was discharged 10 hours after a C-section.
I just had like this gut feeling, like I knew I needed to be with Finn, which turns out I medically needed to, because I had to give my platelets. I had to go through a whole process, and then Finn received them, and that's what kept him alive for 5 weeks, basically kept his counts up.
There was a fear instilled in us by a lot of medical professionals that he was going to have some deficits from the pretty good sized brain bleed he had.
It's just answering a lot of questions and just, sending positive thoughts and encouragement, because I received a lot of that.
It's 1 in 800 live births affects a child with NAIT. The sad part is that NAIT is killing babies and leaving babies with cerebral palsy and lifelong disabilities, and it's something that can be prevented.
It's like it's such a severe disease, It's hard to see it not taken seriously.
I think today my family looks complete. We always wanted a sibling for Finn, and we hooked up with an incredible high-risk OB doctor in Louisville that made all the difference in the treated pregnancy.
Now that Arbor's bigger and they're really playing together, it's like it definitely worth it. We were so close to not doing that, so like him just having a sibling, it's been a good thing.
To be with Poppy a lot.
You like to be with me a lot? You gonna work with me?
I probably might be your helper.
Yeah, I could use a good helper.